All right, today we're jumping into a really cool thought experiment. It's part biology, part survival show. The big question is, what would happen if you took some of the world's toughest dog breeds and dropped them into the ultimate proving ground, the African savanna?
Okay, so here's the setup. It's simple, but man is it brutal. Imagine releasing 50 different dogs, one at a time, right into the heart of Africa. They've got to deal with insane heat, figure out how to find food, and, well, try not to become food. So who do you think actually survives?
And this, wow, it really paints a picture, doesn't it? We are not talking about your local dog park here. This is one of the toughest places on the planet. It's a place where evolution is on hyperdrive, and it's absolutely merciless. Every move, every single choice could be life or death.
Okay, so before we get to the dogs themselves, we need to understand the rules of the game. And here's the thing, the real opponent isn't another dog, it's the savanna.
These are basically the great filters, the big obstacles that are going to weed out the weak pretty fast. It's not just about being strong. You've got to ask, can a dog actually take that crushing heat? Can it go for miles and miles just to find a little water? And what about outsmarting a lion or a whole pack of hyenas? This is a test of pure resilience more than anything else.
All right, round one. Let's bring in our first contenders. And these are the heavyweights, the absolute giants. We're talking about those massive livestock guardian dogs. You know, the ones bred for raw power and protection. The big question, though, can they protect themselves out here?
So in this corner, we've got powerhouses like the Boerboel, the Kangal, and even the German Shepherd. Every single one of them was bred to be tough, to be a protector. But man, they are about to face a challenge like nothing they've ever seen before.
And boom, right out of the gate, we hit the first massive problem, the heat. I mean, breeds like the Great Pyrenees or the Caucasian Shepherd, those thick, heavy coats, they're a death sentence. They're going to overheat almost immediately. But then you've got the Boerboel and the Kangal. Their short coats give them a huge head start.
But hold on, it's not just about the physical stuff. The German Shepherds, they have a totally different strategy. They might not be built for the heat, but their intelligence is off the charts. They start forming these small, clever packs, using teamwork to solve problems. It's a classic case of brains over brawn.
Okay, so next up, let's talk about the specialists. These are the dogs that are absolute masters of one thing, whether it's fighting or herding. But that's the real question, right? Can a specialist make it in a place that really rewards being a generalist?
And this is where it gets tricky for them. Take the fighters, like pit bulls and terriers. That insane, relentless drive, it's great for a short burst, for a quick hunt. But the savanna isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and their endurance just isn't there. Then you've got the super smart herders like collies and heelers, brilliant dogs. But again, those thick double coats are just a liability in that sun.
Okay, so we've seen the initial chaos, who made the first cut and who didn't. Now we're going to hit the fast forward button. We're jumping ahead not just days or weeks, but generations. Because the few dogs that actually survive that initial test, they don't just stay the same. They start to adapt, to change. It's a total metamorphosis.
So, how does this actually work? Well, step one is what you could call the great culling. It's nature's brutal editing process. Only the absolute fittest survive. Then, step two, those survivors start to enter breed. Suddenly, you've got the Kangals' stamina mixing with the Boerboels' heat resistance and the German Shepherd's smarts. All these winning traits get thrown into one gene pool. And finally, a new kind of dog starts to emerge, a hybrid that's basically custom-built for the savanna.
And check this out. This is what that new savanna dog looks like. It's not any purebred you'd recognize. We're talking a dusty tan coat for camouflage, long legs for covering huge distances without wasting energy, and of course, short hair to deal with the heat. And what's really interesting is that behaviorally, it's adopted that pack mentality from the German Shepherds. It's a whole new animal, a true survivor.
So, after all this time, after all these generations of evolution playing out, how do we know who really comes out on top? Well, to figure out the ultimate long-term winner, the experiment actually ran an AI simulation based on all the key factors. So this is it, the final judgment.
And this isn't just some random guess, right? The AI is looking at hard data. It's measuring all the key traits for survival in this exact place. Things like heat tolerance, endurance, cooperation, how flexible their diet is, how they react to predators, the whole shebang.
And this chart basically shows you the secret sauce, the winning profile. The top dog, the ultimate survivor, isn't just the biggest or the smartest, it's the one that has high scores across the board in all the most important areas. You need that physical resilience just to exist there, and you need the brainpower to cooperate and strategize.
And so, the winner is, the simulation says the lineage that's going to thrive and eventually dominate this new landscape is the one that came from the Kangal and Boerboel lines. That combination of their toughness, their heat resistance, mixed with the smarts picked up along the way, that turned out to be the perfect recipe for success. But what's really cool is that it's not like a total wipeout of everyone else. A new, more complex ecosystem actually forms. So yeah, that Kangal-Boerboel hybrid is the dominant force, but you still find pockets of pure Boerboels holding their own in the really dry parts, and those brainy German Shepherd hybrids do really well near water sources. The Savanna is big enough and varied enough for a few different kinds of winners to carve out their own space.
And this quote, it just sums up the whole journey perfectly. The Savanna, with all its pressure, basically reforged these domestic dogs back into something wild. They become a natural part of the very landscape that almost broke them.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's really a powerful glimpse of evolution on fast forward. And it really gets you thinking, right? If you had to drop your dog into this scenario, what's the one thing, the one trait that you think would help it survive? Would it be their smarts, their speed, or maybe just their pure, stubborn refusal to give up? It's a fun thing to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.